The great reset is here, and Trump is about to send these markets on the back end of this year. Most are not prepared, and most are looking the wrong way. As they change the whole narrative this way, everybody's looking over here. And this last weekend, Trump was going off on True Social, and there was a lot of progress this last weekend, and there's some interesting factors happening. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the facts, figures, numbers, logic, and I'm going to share with you from my deep research on where I think these markets are going around July, August, and the back end of this year. This is the time to get in. Trump told you, buy. Buy. He said it twice now. I think 3 times he said it. So in this video, I'm going to break down a little bit deeper, take it past the surface, and I'm going to always share with you exactly what I've done. From 2020 to 2025, we've created financial freedom, cash flow, appreciation, protection, and now we're starting to build that system called leverage. It is a key factor to understand how wealth actually works. The money goes back to the same 1% every single time. So that's what we're going to break down this video today. We're going to first talk about Trump going off this weekend on True Social. And what I tweeted yesterday was don't sleep on what's coming. The back half of this year, this was on Saturday, of 2025, will birth more millionaires than any time in history, but only for those who are prepared, when it was quiet. This is the time. He posted a very good meeting with China in Switzerland. Many things discussed, much agreed to, a total reset negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner. We want to see for the good of both China and US and the opening of China to American businesses. Great progress made. Okay. This was posted by the White House on 5/11. For immediate release, US announces China trade deal in Geneva. I'm happy to report that we made substantial progress between the United States and China in a very important trade talks. First, I want to thank the Swiss host. The Swiss government has been very kind in providing us a wonderful venue, and I think that led to a great deal of productivity we've seen. We will be giving details tomorrow, which would be today, I believe, but I can tell you that the talks were productive. We had the vice premier, 2 vice ministers who were integral and involved, Ambassador Jasmine and myself, and I spoke to President Trump and did Ambassador Jasmine last night, and he is fully informed on what is going on. So today, China, and then I watched the briefing. It was in Chinese, obviously, and so I was trying to figure out. They had translators back and forth, but we should hear some information around that today. Okay. Then Trump posted this. My next truth will be one of the most important and impactful I've ever issued. Enjoy. So I posted that. And then what came out next was massive. And the interesting response in the cryptocurrency and the financial community was it was about drug prices. I was like, think about what he just said. He wants to reduce, he will, as of today at 9 a.m. today, reduce drug prices anywhere from 53%, I think, to 85%. Do you realize what this is about to do to the markets? We had UK, a deal with the UK. Okay. Drug prices going down 53 to 85%, putting money back in Americans' pockets, money flooding back into America on the back end of this year. Jerome Powell lowering interest rates. He's going to need to lower interest rates. When he lowers interest rates, they're going to turn the printing machine back on full blast. But this is where I need you to pay attention. When they turn this printing machine back on, they are not going to be storing their money in the US dollar. Okay. The bond market is destroyed in America. Remember, Japan and China hold 30% of our debt is held outside the United States with treasuries. Japan and China hold most of our debt. Okay. All the money in the system is debt. The elites right now are transmuting their money into gold and things like Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you the pathway on why I am so bullish on Bitcoin and XRP and why I store my wealth in Bitcoin and XRP and cash value life insurance. Okay. So now I'm going to take you down this pathway. Okay. So we had all these announcements this weekend, but remember, all these announcements are extremely favorable for your portfolio. And we are getting a blessing right now to buy XRP at $2.40 or whatever it's at right now. I buy Bitcoin and XRP every single day. Okay. When it dips hard, I buy more. There's going to be a moment in 10 years where Bitcoin's going to be sitting at 1.4, 1.2 million, right? Draper's saying in 10 years that it could replace the US dollar. Okay. Michael Saylor says it could be $13 million each Bitcoin in 20 years. I'll be 70 years old. Life-changing stuff happening right now. So get disciplined, get consistent. I want you to hear this from Draper. Draper is the one that says, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Now we're moving to regulation and joining phase. So check this out.
What will eventually happen to US dollar dominance?
Yeah, I eventually think that we will no longer have US dollar dominance over the long period, but that's over a long period of time.
The ballpark estimate of how, when Bitcoin will replace the US dollar?
10 years, something like that. It may be a little less because there will be a moment. I mean, the good news here is that banks can now hold your Bitcoin and your fiat currency. And so if you desperately, you see it on social media, hey, we got to get rid of our dollars, we got to buy Bitcoin. You can do it pretty quickly online, but you don't want to be, in line at the banks trying to get your dollars out to put them into Bitcoin when there is a transformation.
Okay, there is a transformation coming. Now, this isn't a call to go run the banks and take your money out of cash. What we're doing is we're strategically transmuting our inflationary dollar that we become poor every single year if we don't beat inflation 2%. And I'm transmuting my family's wealth into Bitcoin, XRP, and cash value life insurance. Life insurance has always beat recessions, Great Depressions, world wars, and is the foundation of the financial system. So I have a portion of my money protected. My principal is guaranteed, getting market-like returns, and I have leverage. And then I have my Bitcoin and XRP over here. So when I get paid in the US dollar, I'm transmuted into things that compound, grow, or are protected. Because this is why. Okay, these are the Bitcoin holdings of countries and governments. US is number 1. China is number 2, which we're working on a trade deal with China, and they're buying a ton of gold. UK is number 3. We had our first trade deal, which was with the UK. Ukraine is number 4. Bhutan is number 5. El Salvador is number 6. And Finland is number 7. Okay, so the top 2 is US and China, top 2 holders in Bitcoin. Okay, we have Basel III coming in July, full Basel III, which is having gold on reserve for riskier assets. Central banks in 2023 were stacking gold. An increasingly complex geopolitical and financial environment is making gold reserves management more relevant than ever. In 2023, okay, remember that's when BlackRock, Larry Fink said he was switching to Bitcoin. It's a flight to quality when he told you it was used for money laundering. In 2023, central banks added 1,037 tons of gold, the second highest annual percentage in history, following a record high of 1,082 in 2022. Interesting. We printed a bunch of money. Global money supply went through the roof. They were stacking a ton of gold. Larry Fink switches from Bitcoin's use for money laundering to it's a flight to quality. And now Larry Fink is the largest holder in Bitcoin outside of Satoshi. America's number 1, China's number 2, and they're stacking gold. There's a great financial reset happening right now. And I do know for a fact that Bitcoin and XRP are going to play a massive, massive part of that. XRP is my number 1. Bitcoin's my number 2. Okay. Good Morning Crypto put this out. Breaking Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund Index ETF, which contains XRP, is scheduled to launch on July 2nd. This would be the first US XRP spot ETF product. So now what you're going to start to see is a ton of people. Well, we already know the dark pools, and that's real, right? So behind the scenes, there's probably going to be a supply shock. Behind the scenes, the big asset managers are buying up Bitcoin. I believe they're buying up XRP. I believe they're buying up Solana. So this is what I do. I focus on 4 components. I focus on cash flow, not cash. Cash is trash. I focus on cash flow. Number 2 is I focus on getting my cash flow into appreciating assets that are deflationary. And I always use Bitcoin and XRP, those because those are my top two holdings. I have many other cryptos, but those are my top two, and they're both deflationary. What does that mean? Okay, the US dollar can be printed. There's no backing. It's an infinite supply. So it becomes less valuable. That's inflationary. Deflationary means it has a fixed supply. Every time a transaction runs across XRP, it becomes more valuable because it burns it. Bitcoin, there's 21 million, 95% of supply is gone, 80% of supply is not moving. Governments are rushing to buy it. So if you own a little bit of Bitcoin, you own a part of history. And at some point, you won't be able to get Bitcoin. It'll be the most scarce asset in the world. Well, who's going to accumulate that? The governments. And they're going to use that on their balance sheets to shrink their balance sheets. It goes up 50% every single year. And this is going to help with the sovereign debt crisis. I think it was designed for that. I really believe that, right? So we have cash flow, we have appreciation and deflationary assets. I do protection. Okay. I use cash value life insurance. The first annuity was in the Roman days. That's made it through Great Depressions, recessions, world wars. Insurance companies are the foundation. Cash value life insurance, and insuring your wealth is the foundation of the ecosystem. Okay. That creates another family bank for me. I have a family bank on this side. Then I have my Bitcoin bank on this side. This is like quick turnaround. This is family legacy and family bank. Okay. Then we have leverage, which I just spoke about. I have leverage on the cash value life insurance side, and I have the Bitcoin side. We just exercised our first transmutation of that, where I borrowed Bitcoin to buy a company. The company's paying it off. I think we have 9 months left after this next payment. That'll pay it off in 9 months. And so we took other people's money, took tax-free money, bought the company. Now I have a cash generating asset. So the key is to not try to get rich quick. It's to get wealthy for sure by understanding how to transmute this newfound wealth coming in. Trump told you to buy now, guys. Trump told you that. I didn't say that. He's warned you twice already. I think it was 3 times. So I hope this information reaches you all. I want to give you a couple resources out there. So in this, on my YouTube channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on social media, you can click bio for resources. I have all my resources there. There's a education section. We have a ton of new education coming out to share with you exactly what I do step by step. And I also want to share with you guys, I have one of my companies is a men's coaching program. I help men get their shit together. So for men out there, I have an event, which is Awakening Your Inner King. And so this is coming up on June 28th. It is in Mesa, Arizona. So if you'd like to hang out with me, I want to let you guys know it's 46 days away. It is a powerful, not a motivational seminar. This is a tactical plan to help you get your shit together. I'm going to help you break down the exact tactical plan that I use daily, weekly, monthly, spiritually, financially, and mentally. And so if you'd like to hang out with me, break bread, there's a VIP event on Friday night, and then there's a general admission event as well. They're both going to be very powerful, very intimate. This is in Mesa, Arizona, June 28th. If you'd like to get in early, it is half off up until May 20th. So if you click here, okay, you'll use your half off code. That is only 8 days away to get the half off. Okay. So you'll click the link in my bio, or you click the description of my video here, and you'll be able to join this event. So it's live in Mesa, Arizona with me, Coach JV. And we're going to get down. We're going to get dirty. We're going to get into the weeds. We're going to break down. We're going to forgive. We're going to come back into presence, and we're going to build an ecosystem that we could be proud of, protecting our family, our ecosystem at all costs, and stay out of other men's business. Are too busy working on ours. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.